Hey everyone, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nikki.
And we are Cooking with Dakotas. Today, we're going to bring you a jam-packed 2 dessert recipes show. We're going to have oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, homemade, that are delicious. And we are going to also be making a not your average fruit salad, which is a great dessert option, or it can be a little side. Let's go ahead and get started with our cookies, because we're gonna have to cook our cookies, and while we're cooking the cookies, we will be cooking the cookies and bringing you some fruit salad.
So we preheated our oven to 375 degrees. While that's being preheated, we're gonna start mixing our ingredients. And you will find this recipe in the description below with the specific amounts for each. But first we're going to cream together our margarine, our brown sugar, and our egg. So next we're gonna just add in the milk. The milk also, I just put the vanilla in there as well because those were gonna be mixed together anyways. Alrighty, so next we're going to add our flour mixture. So the flour also has our baking soda and our salt in there as well. So we're using a whole wheat flour. This brings more fiber to this dish instead of just doing a traditional white flour. So although this is a dessert, it will be a little bit more filling. Alrighty, so the next step is to grab that spatula again, and we are going to mix in our oats. We have just old-fashioned oats.
As opposed to new-fashioned oats, which are popular in New York, but they haven't made it around in the US yet.
And you could also use quick oats as well, but I like the texture that the old-fashioned oats brings to this. We also have our flaxseed.
I know what you're thinking, but flaxseed doesn't make you flex as much as you would think it does.
And flaxseed is a great source of fiber. It does have protein, and it also has some omega-3 fats, which are very good for your heart health. And finally, dark chocolate chips. Wanted to do dark chocolate, so at least we're getting a little bit more antioxidants and a little bit less sugar. But these are really sweet and really delicious in this recipe. Okay, so we are going to grab our cookie sheets here, and we are going to spray them with some nonstick cooking spray. So we are going to grab our tablespoons. Nope. Yeah. Wait.
We have our cooking sheets sprayed down. We are going to use tablespoon measures, and we're going to do heaping tablespoons, which is the healthy generosity that I like to add to my cookies. This might be a little bit too much of a heap. This is probably a lob. We don't want a lob, we just want a heaping tablespoon.
And with these cookies, they don't have to be in a perfect ball. If they're a little less than perfect, it shows that it's homemade. And we like to, when we're putting them on the cooking sheet, keep about, I'd say 2-3 inches apart, just in case they do spread a little bit.
All right, for this next recipe, it's super quick and easy to do. It only has 5 different ingredients. We have pineapple, mandarin oranges, orange, Jell-O mix. We're gonna use cottage cheese and whipped cream. And you'll see as well in the description the amounts of each that you want to put. For this, you used canned fruit, and you'll wanna make sure that it's in the fruit juice. So this is in pineapple juice or in mandarin orange juice, and avoid getting it with it when it's in a syrup or even a light syrup. We're using We're not using sugar-free mix for this, we're using regular mix, and then we are using cottage cheese low fat and whipped topping that is fat-free as well. So that's kind of how we're balancing this all together, but we are going to go ahead and open our can and put the pineapple, again after it's drained, into this bowl. We are also going to add both of these mandarin orange cans. We're going to add all of the cottage cheese. Now even, I'm not someone who likes cottage cheese by itself, but within this recipe, I like it. And you can even use less cottage cheese. Again, here we're using 16 ounces of cottage cheese. And now we are going to add our orange Jell-O mix. And then the last thing we are going to put is the whipped topping. This has been in the freezer, but we did thaw it out slightly so that it's easier to mix. You want to make sure to put the whipped topping in this and not the container for the whipped topping.
This looks great. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this recipe, so I'm very excited to see how it turns out.
So we're going to just take a mixing spoon and mix everything together.
And when I see this recipe, I think of this as a great option for those that are still wanting something sweet, like for dessert, but where they're not getting as much added sugars as some other typical dessert.
So that's looking really good together. And now that this is mixed, you're going to want to chill it for an hour or two before you actually eat it. I'm going to give Nikki a preview taste of this to try it. Have a pineapple with it. We used pineapple chunks, but if you're not a fan of the pineapple chunks, you can cut them in half or cut them up. It's a little bit more time consuming, but then you're going to get smaller pineapple pieces in it, similar with those smaller mandarin orange pieces. But you do not want to take the shortcut of getting the crushed or blended pineapple that is in the store, because that is not going to be the target texture and consistency that we're looking for in this dish. So while that fruit salad is chilling and our cookies have been cooked, we are going to take a look at those cookies.
So yeah, all our cookies baked. You know when they're done, when they're a little golden brown on top, and then using a spatula you'll be able to see underneath it. So after you check that they're underneath, that they're done, you're gonna put them all on a cooling rack, and once they're cooled, you can store them in an airtight container, and they should last you at least a week minimum out on the counter. I like to freeze any extras that I have, so I have them for throughout the week, throughout the month, whenever I have that desire for a nice oatmeal cookie.
And just like each of us are unique, these cookies are all different sizes and shapes, but they're all delicious and wonderful. So with this, we've already started to chill it some, and you can see that it's going to be a thicker texture. It's still a little bit loose because it's only been in our freezer for about 10 or 15 minutes, but in the fridge you want to give it an hour or even a couple hours, and it will thicken more, and you will be able to enjoy this delicious fruit salad. All right, so today we not only baked delicious homemade oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, but we also have a delicious fruit salad. We love bringing you new delicious foods.
So tune in next time to
Cooking with the Codas. Thanks again for watching this week's episode of Cooking with the Codas. Please like or subscribe below.